Hey, it's Nick with a Day 19 update from the Alt MBA. Today's project we're actually working on today, it's due tonight, is all about looking at constraints in your project. Analyzing the parts of your project that are the weakest links and figuring out what you can do to make those links stronger, to improve the chain or the scope of your project as a whole piece, as a whole item. And so I think the part that I'm looking at right now as I'm thinking of the project that I'm working on is where is the weakest part? Where is the weakest part of my project? And honestly, I'm still trying to figure that all out. I'm still trying to figure out what my project really is, what my goal is, because although it's been very enlightening and I've gotten a lot of direction, I'm still trying to find that thing that is the most important. So I'm gonna talk about, just for a second, about magic. It's something that I brought up in a conversation I had with one of my work group members today, and it's something that I think is very valuable in understanding where and what I want to do and what I want to be a part of. When I was younger, I was a magician on the street. I just did street magic. And there's a lot of exposure there. There's a lot of vulnerability when you talk about walking up to someone you've never met before and asking them if they would like to see a magic trick. It's the opening line. It's almost the cold call on the street, trying to get people to pay attention to what you have to offer. And a big part of that was that I loved seeing people's expressions on their faces. I loved seeing the smiles on people's faces and the curiosity and the wonder, I guess, that came out of that. And so I was in the business of creating an experience for people. And I believed in my experience, and I believed that the people that I interacted with deserved to have that experience. That was the mindset behind it. And so what I'm getting at is that I think that there's an experience to be had in whatever it is that I want to be. I really am interested in the design of the company, the design of the logo, the design of everything that encompasses your company's story and how it relates to your customers. That is what I'm about. I'm about the experience that you get with your customers and the experience that your customers get with you. That is ultimately, I think, the thing that turns my gears and the things that makes me, that keeps me up at night and gets me out of bed in the morning, is the idea that there are people that are excited about the things that you have to offer because you have presented them in the right way. And so to go a little bit further on this idea of magic, when I was a kid, I had come up with a few ideas on how I could make a little bit more money on the streets with the magic tricks I was doing, and I realized that the best tricks are the ones where you can get the money out on the table. You get the money out on the table because it's a lot harder to put it back in your pocket than it is to drop it in the tip jar in front of you. And that was where I had come up with a few ideas on getting the money out onto into my hands, doing a trick with it, and basically earning their trust in that moment, because they trust that their money is the real deal. And that was so much about the whole process, because it was an intro to sales job. That was all it was. It was an intro to sales job. I believed in my product. I believed that other people should have the product. I reached out, I called out on people and said, hey, this is something that I think you would enjoy. Those people came in, and then I started getting things out. I got their trust by by using something that they have and they know to be a real thing. They know that the $2 in their pocket, $2 bills have been in there. They know that I didn't put them there, and they showed up to the fair with those $2. And that's where I earned their trust. I would do the trick with those bills, and at the end of it, they just had a hard time putting it back in their pocket because they felt like I earned those dollars. And so that's really what I want to create in my design, in my idea for a design company. It's more about a process, because I think a lot of designers don't get that experience of going out and selling directly to people and having a face-to-face interaction and understanding the belief and understanding what makes people trust you or your brand. And so I think that my goal and my project is about figuring out what questions have to be asked if you are going to be a designer for companies. If you are going to design something that will represent or be the face of another company, that is what I am doing, that is what I'm for. So I'm really obviously pretty excited for this project. It's going to be interesting to see how it all turns out. I'm getting ready to hit the drawing board and just go after it and see what happens. I've got a few ideas and a few things up my sleeves I'm not wearing any, that that I think are going to be very valuable for me as an individual in this program to look over, but I think that it will also be very valuable for people that read through it to see and maybe cause some self-reflection on how they're looking at their customers and their business. So as always, thank you so much for your support and watching these videos, and I look forward to seeing you soon.